Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back. I have a super fun, wintry story for us. That's right, where I am recording this for you right now. It is super duper cold. Now, maybe it's cold where you live too. I don't live in a place that gets snowy like it does where the characters live in our book, but I do live in a place where it gets super duper cold, and today is one of the coldest days of the year for us so far. So I thought it would be really fun for us to be able to read this super fun, snowy book. Doesn't that sound fun? Yes? Okay, let's check it out. This book is called The Three Snow Bears. Have you heard of the Three Bears? You have? And do you know what happens in that story? Who are the characters in that story? Who's in that story? There's a little girl. What's her name? Goldilocks, that's right. And there are three bears. And Goldilocks stumbles upon their house and she enjoys the things in their house. She tries to eat the soup from Papa Bear's bowl, but it's too hot. And the soup from Mama Bear's bowl, it's too cold. But the soup from Baby Bear's bowl is just right. And you will see some of those same wonderful things happening in our story with just a little bit of a twist, because we're not going to find these characters in the middle of the woods. We're going to find them in the snow. And there's going to be an igloo, and there's going to be ice and a frozen lake, and it's going to be so much fun. Now, this book was created by Jan Brett, and her name is the only name on the front cover. That means the front of the book. And so that tells me that she had two very important jobs. She is the author and the illustrator. The author is the person who writes the words, and the illustrator is the person who draws the pictures. And Jan Brett is so talented that she did both of those things. Everybody say, wow. Wow, yeah. So as we're reading along, make sure that you're not just listening and enjoying the story and the words, but look at the pictures all around. There are beautiful illustrations that Miss Jan Brett drew, and she is so talented and has brought us this wonderful story with these beautiful illustrations, and you are going to love it. So I hope that you are staying toasty warm on this wintry day, and that you're snuggled in, maybe with a blanket or maybe curled into your bed, and enjoying this nice cold book from the comfort of an indoor warmth wherever you are. Let's read it together now, shall we? Okay, come on, join me.
The Three Snow Bears. Come back! Aloo-ki shouted as her huskies floated out to sea. Oh no! She knew that although an ice floe is a good place to fish, it is a bad place to lose a dog team. Not far away, a snow bear family had just started to eat their breakfast, but it was way too hot for Baby Bear. Hooey! Yelled Baby Bear. My breakfast burned my mouth. We'll go for a stroll and let the soup cool, Mama Bear said. Aloo-ki was running along, looking for her dogs, when she came upon the biggest igloo she had ever seen. Who lives here? She wondered. Aloo-ki ducked inside. Right away, she smelled something delicious. Across the room, she saw a big bowl, a middle-sized bowl, and a small bowl. Surely the good smell was coming from the three bowls. Aloo-ki took a sip from the biggest bowl. Oh, she cried, too hot. She took a sip from the middle-sized bowl. Ooh, too cold. She tipped up the littlest bowl and drank every drop. Mmm, she said. Not too hot and not too cold. In the next room, Aloo-ki spotted 3 pairs of beautiful boots standing in a row. She put on the biggest boot. Oh, too big, she said. She put on the middle-sized boot. Too fancy, she said. She put on the littlest pair. Just right, she said, wiggling her toes in the soft fur lining. Aloo-ki walked into the last room and found a long sleeping bench piled high with fur coats. Heat from an oil lamp warmed her cheeks and made her sleepy. Time for a nap, she thought. She crawled under the highest mound of covers. Oh, too lumpy, she grumbled. She tried the middle bed with the furry fringe cover, but sank down so far that she could hardly breathe. Too soft, she said. She rolled over into the smallest sleeping place. The furry blanket was cozy and warm, and the pillow was just her size. Just right, Aloo-ki murmured, and was asleep before she could take her boots off. If Aloo-ki hadn't fallen asleep, she might have heard her dogs barking happily. Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Baby Bear had spotted them adrift in the strong current and gone out to save them. The Snow Bear family was pushing Aloo-ki's dog team back toward their igloo and safety. Papa Bear crawled into the igloo and saw his big bowl sitting in a pool of spilled soup. Someone has been tasting my soup, he roared. Mama Bear rushed in and saw that her soup had been sloshed around too. Someone has been sipping my soup, she growled. Someone found my soup, sputtered Baby Bear in her high, squeaky voice. And they ate it all up. Papa Bear ran into the next room and saw his boots in the middle of the floor. Someone has been trying on my boots, he boomed in his big bear voice. Mama Bear put on her fancy boots. Someone has had these boots on, she huffed, and the fur is all bunched up. Baby Bear saw that her boots had disappeared. Someone has taken my boots and left behind these not as good ones, she wailed. The bears ran into their bedroom. Someone has been sleeping in my bed, Papa Bear bellowed. Someone has been sleeping in my bed too, Mama Bear cried. Baby Bear peeked at her little bed and squeaked. Someone has been sleeping in my bed and here she is. Aloo-ki opened her eyes and saw 3 bear noses only inches away. She hopped out of bed and dove between Papa's huge furry legs. Quicker than a seal, Aloo-ki ran from room to room until she burst outside. Her huskies bounced around, barking and smiling their doggy grin. Aloo-ki and her dogs flew over the frozen ice, dodging ridges and cracks. She looked back to wave a thank you to the snow bears. She couldn't see them, but she heard a big gruff voice, a middle-sized voice, and a high squeaky voice calling to her.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye. The end. Oh, boys and girls, wasn't that a wonderful book? Man, I wouldn't like to live where it is that cold and snowy, but some people really do. Isn't that amazing? And what would you do if you woke up and saw three bare noses looking at you? Oh no! But in the end, the bears were so kind. They rescued her dogs, and then they were still nice to her, even though they startled her. They weren't trying to get her anything for borrowing their bed and their shoes and for eating baby bear's soup, right? Can you see how that book was a lot like Goldilocks and the Three Bears? But this time it was called Aloo-ki and the Three Bears, right? Yes. Well, I loved it. I thought it was a great story, a great snowy rendition of that classic tale, and I hope you had super fun reading this snowy story with me. Thanks for watching. If you love this book and want a copy of your very own, you can get one at the link below. If you had fun reading along with me, please like this video. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check out all the other videos where I read books aloud just for you. I hope I'll see you guys soon and you'll come back and read with me again next time. Bye!